been lying and making excuses. All I talk is politics like a politician. I got 20s on 20s, can you see my vision? With precision I move forward. Can't be trapped by love, cause to me that's a prison. I know you say you love me, but we both know our future is already written. It's plain and simple, build up the brand. Can't stop until I'm finished, I hope you understand. Here we go. I can't be there all the time, I know you think I'm shady. I'm just out here making money, why you trying to blame me? Now you wanna throw a fit and drive me crazy. We supposed to be together, now you wanna blame me. Either way it go, I know you understand my grammar. I'ma keep on taking pictures in front of the camera, and when it's all said and done, we won't be together. Why you keep on blaming me? Cause I'm doing better. Yeah. 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 Cause I'm doing better. I can't believe you wanna bring to me all the stress. Once upon a time we was Romeo and Juliet. Whenever you alone, I'm the one you phone. Everything was good until you got your own. I'm not gonna be a player hater, I'm a congratulator.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'ma keep flossing and crossing my T's, dotting and all in my eyes. Here we go.
Let's get this show started. We don't got much time. Happy Friday. Oh. Okay. I see what we're doing here. It really is like a curse, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like deja vu.
Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like a Terminator screaming, it's back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take
See you all. Happy Friday.
Headed to class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage, the tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming, how we
Welcome,
made it.
ladies and gentlemen.
It's supposed to happen when you rich and famous. The algorithm turned to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac.
I thought I was on my main account, but oh well. We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way, right? There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Welcome.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited. Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take
There
off
goes the
in
Zeus
space
hater.
shit.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
It really is.
It's like deja vu.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. We got to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of you-know-who and his supporters, right? But before we get started, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. All right, you might as well pretend like my hands are honestly resting on a stack of Bibles, all right? The second H, W Bambi in the chat, thank you so much. The second H is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, honestly, I'll be the first one to apologize. But here's the thing, just because your feelings are hurt, it does not mean I owe you an apology. Not at all. It most likely means you need to do us a favor and sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is big, and it's honestly the most important H. It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome W, Marissa. Check out my features. Many of you know exactly what we do here every morning. It's almost like it's routine. W, Zena Smith. Thank you, Zena. Thank you, everyone that actually supports the platform and sends, whether it's the W's in the chat, you hit the Cash App, or you send the gifts. I really do appreciate it. But let's get it going. Many of you know exactly what we do here. Little Hawk, shout out to Little Hawk. What we do is very, very special on this app. Hands down, no one does it like us over here. We get down deep into the trenches, and we really make sure every day, every Trump supporter on this app that runs across this show, we make sure that they understand we are not going to surrender this great country of ours. W. Ange, nice to see you. We're not going to surrender this great country of ours to the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his deranged supporters who are hell-bent on figuring out any way they could bend themselves. You know, we call it being a pretzel, but these people, ladies and gentlemen, they will turn themselves into a pretzel in order to make whatever it is Donald Trump says make it seem like it's a good thing, even though we all know it's a very nasty thing. W. Anthony in the chat. So again, I'm going to try to be a little more restrained this morning because it's Friday, number one, and number two. But you know what? The tone is starting to shift in this country, which means, you know what? W's in the chat for the Democrats. The tone is starting to shift. People all over the country are waking up and they're realizing, you know what, the Democrats might not have won the election, but they've been right about every single thing, right? I go back and I watch some of the old debates that I've had with these Trump supporters, and it's so hilarious because it's like when you watch Kamala Harris back in the day, she was right the entire time. She was totally right about what Donald Trump would do. And so the burden really isn't on Trump, because I really do believe Donald Trump did a good job explaining what he was going to do, even though I completely understand it's pure evil what he's going to do. The burden right now is on these Americans. I don't even want to call them Americans. These so-called patriots, and they know exactly what I mean when I say that. The burden is on them to prove they're really Americans at this point, because there's just nothing you can say to me that's going to make me think, you know what, you did the right thing voting for somebody that you know is someone you, morally speaking, don't align with unless you really do it on the under. Somebody that's basically trying to make you get off of Social Security and get a job out there in the fields, because guess what? You can't work anywhere else. Somebody that's hell-bent on ruining your 401ks, right? I mean, this is amazing that he's gotten these people to accept destroying themselves. It's like, you know, I did it earlier this week. You know who he was, Jim Jones. He's got these people believing that it's okay to peacefully cross over into the afterlife, and that he is their doctor and he's prescribing them the medicine that they need, even though they weren't sick. Maybe they are sick. W. Zeus in the chat. So before we get into any of that stuff, do I have any Trump supporters out there this morning that want to still admit they're in a cult? Any Trump supporters out there? I just want to see. I don't need you to come up here right now, and you can keep those remarks to yourself, MAGA. Just don't even do anything. Just listen to what we're saying. Any Trump supporters out there? Okay, I think. Okay, I see one. I see what he said. Why are Democrats so unpopular right now? All right. So, what was his name? Let me make sure I get it right. His name is, what was his name? What was that? Okay, Selfish 70s. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Actually, let me go ahead and say it. You might want to leave this live, all right? Because it's going to get very uncomfortable for you, Selfish 70s, all right? It's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. Because you can look in my eyes and see I'm not playing around with the MAGA demon, all right? I will ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between, because there's going to be so much truth coming out of here, all right? It's going to make you really feel like you're nauseous. And if you don't want to experience that, leave the show right now, all right? Because I promise you, you're going to feel that way. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. Well, the doors to the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed, so you're in here now, and whatever goes down, I take no responsibility for it. I get so tired of people telling me, "Oh, well, Zeus, you hurt my feelings with the way that you delivered this truth." You know, that's how Trump supporters talk. And I'm gonna say this: I just can't understand, honestly. How am I supposed to feel sorry for a person who voted? I'm struggling, ladies and gentlemen. How am I supposed to feel sorry for a person that saw this and went and actually circled the bubble? You know, showed them their paperwork. Yes, I'm eligible to vote. Yes, I'm a fully present. Because, you know, I'm fully present. I'm old enough to do this, right? You sure you're old enough to do this? Yes. And then they gave them the ballot. And they went in there with a pen. And you had really only two choices: Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And you circled the person that was the least qualified. You did this, MAGA. You did this. And then you get on TikTok and in every other social media platform and try to act like you're the victim. I don't have the capacity to do it. I really don't. All right. So W Zeus in the chat. I'm going to continue to just do what I do. And I'm going to stop this. The only way I'm willing to actually have middle ground with MAGA is if we agree on a lot of things. And you got to agree that President Biden won the election fair and square in 2020. All right. You got to agree on that. You also got to agree that when it comes to January 6th, it was not Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats behind that at all. That was Donald Trump refusing to admit he lost the election. All right. And gaslighting all of his supporters to believe his lies and luring them. The key word is lure, all right? Okay, when you lure somebody, you ever seen that show, you know, to catch, you know what they do? They put everything out there to make you want to go over there. And then that's what Donald Trump did to you, Trump supporters. How do you have a rally called Stop the Steal, all right? Ding, 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 ding. The word steal in it means crime. And y'all decided to go there where the crime, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, these Trump supporters, and y'all believe everything Donald Trump says. So what have we learned this week? And I'll give you an example. These mass deportations. I'm going to go on record and say this about the mass deportations. Donald Trump said he was going to deport 11 million to 13 million people. That was his campaign promises. And as of today, he's only roughly barely scrapping by getting 11,000 a month. He's supposed to be getting around 230,000 a month to meet that target number. So he's failing when it comes to the mass deportations. And so what does he decide to do? He decides to go after everyday Americans, terrorizing them, placing them into fear. All right. And as far as I'm concerned, it's really the definition of waste, fraud, and abuse. He does this. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, didn't I cover it? Pam Bondi 2 weeks ago goes on the record because of Signalgate, and she's trying to distract the American people. Hey, America, I found this MS-13 gang member in Virginia. Remember that? And then we found out yesterday it was all a ruse. This guy was innocent. This guy was not in the MS-13 gang at all. And they withdrew the prosecution against this man. So we wasted billions of dollars on that exercise. We've wasted millions and billions of dollars with this Guantanamo Bay. You know, they're using our military aircraft. These are very powerful machines, aircraft. They should be used only for war, all right? But W. Rick in the chat, they used these military, they went to Guantanamo Bay and flew these people to Guantanamo Bay only to have to bring them back into the United States. So that's two instances, MAGA, where your commander-in-chief and his administration have just been wasting millions and millions of American people's dollars. And I'm surprised Doge hasn't caught up to this, right? And then, you know, I'm sitting at home, I'm watching the TV yesterday, and boom, 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 Supreme Court. You heard what the Supreme Court did, MAGA? And this is why we got to warm up the lake of fire this morning. Did you hear what the Supreme Court did? They actually are now telling the Trump administration to go to the El Salvador mega prison that they sent someone to and to bring them back. Bring them back. Think about that, MAGA. He has to go to the prison he sent someone wrongfully and bring them back. And I combed through that opinion piece. It was a 9-0. Everybody on the Supreme Court realized this was a violation of this man's due process, his rights. I went through there, and first thing, you know what I did when I read it? I'm waiting to go see which one of these justices said anything about Laken Riley, right? Because that's their excuse. Oh, did Laken Riley get due process? Well, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Laken Riley's name wasn't even in there. Huh. So I expect each and every one of you Trump supporters to go ahead and reach out to the Supreme Court and ask them, did Laken Riley get due process? All right. And see what they say. All right. But let's go ahead and get this on the record. And then we'll go to warm up the lake of fire.
Telling the Trump administration to bring back
W. Kabira, thank you.
man from a prison in El Salvador. Will they be able to find him in one of the toughest jails in the world? Speak with Xavier Walton. But first, friends, a very stern order from the Supreme Court to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the United States. The High Court leaving in place a federal judge's ruling for the U.S. to take steps in returning the Maryland resident days after the Trump administration admitted he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. News Nation's Libby Dean has the latest from Washington. Libby, good morning. How soon could Abrego Garcia be heading home?
Bring him back.
Anna, no timeline yet on Kilmar Abrego Garcia's release here, but the Supreme Court says that the U.S. needs to take steps to start that process of bringing him home after being mistakenly deported to a notorious confinement center in El Salvador last month in early March. Now, this ruling keeps a lower court's order largely in place. Chief Justice John Roberts actually paused a deadline to order Garcia's release earlier this week while the case headed to the High Court. Liberal justices on the bench argued that the Trump administration was, quote, plainly wrong in suggesting Abrego Garcia couldn't be brought home because he was out of U.S. custody. And Garcia's attorney applauding the ruling in their favor, saying that, quote, the rule of law has prevailed. Now they need to stop wasting time and get moving. Now, despite the loss for the Justice Department...
So we're going to go ahead and say W for justice. W for the judges involved, and they saw this for what it was. All right, W. Anthony. And you know what this is for MAGA? A huge, huge L. I got to warm up the lake of fire, MAGA, because once again, I've caught you red-handed. I nabbed you. Wasting taxpayers' money. Waste, fraud, and abuse. You've all done this in all three instances in the name of so-called securing our borders. You're not securing our borders. You're wasting Americans' money. And it's fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, let's wake them up and send them where they belong. To all the Trump supporters that are still supporting Donald Trump, despite the fact that he's a complete failure, he's not deporting nowhere near the 230,000 he was supposed to deport in order to get to the 11 to 13 million number that he promised us. But instead, what he's doing is he's terrorizing Americans and he's wasting taxpayers' dollars. It's called waste, fraud, and abuse. May you go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You know, it's an embarrassment, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in a situation like this. I've never seen such incompetence. I've never seen incompetence from the White House all the way down to TikTok. But it's the same. It's the same. That's why I say it's a demonic force. I don't believe there's a Trump supporter that goes to church and sits there underneath someone's, a pastor could be ministering to. I don't believe these people are good people at all. I think these are some of the most wicked people. If you read about the Bible, if you go in to read the Bible, I haven't read it in a while, but these are the people that Jesus in the Bible, because Jesus is like the main character. These are the hypocrites, the scribes, the Pharisees. These are the people that Jesus would run into. And you just go, oh my goodness, it's all making sense. These people are hell bent on worshiping the devil. And I'm going to continue to expose it because that's what I'm here to do. W. Zeus. I don't care. I really don't care. So we're going to do a couple of more topics and then I'll open up the box to speak to anybody that's willing to be honest. But yesterday, Donald Trump had a cabinet meeting and you could just see in the cabinet meeting that it looks like somebody ate Donald Trump's lunch. And we know who's eating Donald Trump's lunch right now. His name is President Xi. President Xi is eating Donald Trump's lunch. He is, and I promise you, because Donald Trump, honestly, it's incompetence what he is doing, and his supporters, they know it. In this cabinet meeting, you see all these people, and the thing I love about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is, yeah, this is going to be 4 years, but every time, right, every time Trump does something, an investigation is launched. So when I see this cabinet meeting, I can't help but wonder which of these people are willing to break the law and subject themselves to being criminally investigated. And you know what he's planning to do? I know what he's told these people. Sean Duffy, Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, all of them. Work for me, and when it's all over, I'll be giving every single one of you a pardon. So this is what we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Every one of these people sitting at the table, they're willing to lie, smell his diaper. But during this meeting, once again, he couldn't help himself but bring up Joe Biden. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get this on the record. Another example of Donald Trump having Biden derangement syndrome. Okay, and then watch how he ties it to the mass deportations.
I don't need his car. I actually bought one and they said, "Oh, did you get a bargain?" No. I said, "Give me the top price." I paid a lot of money for that car. But honestly, he makes a great car.
He's talking about Elon real quick.
Let the people in the office drive around in it. Margot, Natalie, they're all Chamberlain. They're all driving around the most beautiful car. It's gorgeous. But I did that as a sign of just a show of support. Numerous people have done that. Just a show of support, because he's done a fantastic job, but he hasn't been treated properly. Yeah.
Here it goes.
Can you talk to us about your communications with China? Has President Xi reached out at all since the terror?
Well, I don't want to say who's reached out. I just say that I think.
So the reporter asked him, has President Xi reached out? Because you know what President Xi has done. You know what President Xi has done, all right? It goes back to the earlier video when I told you about what Bruce Lee said, the difference between a karate punch and a kung fu punch. See, a karate punch is like a bar, wham. But a kung fu punch is like a chain with the ball on it, and it hits you and it goes wham, wham. W, Bruce Lee. And so Trump, he sold it to his base that he's the strong man in this whole negotiation thing, and that somehow China has to call him up and beg for forgiveness. And we all know that's not happening.
I think it's going to work out, hopefully well. They're very big. It's hard to get over, if you're me, what they've done to our country. They've destroyed our economic base to a large extent. The good news is we're very vibrant, and we're going to get it back fast. We already have. Look, we're making $2 billion a day now, and during Biden, we were losing $3 billion a day.
He can't help himself.
Biden was a disaster. He was the worst president in the history of our country. And to me, worse than that, because the money you can make if you have the right guy in this position, worse than that was what they did on the border.
Here
By
goes.
allowing the jails of the world, not South America, all over the world, to be opened up so that we take everybody from Africa, Asia, South America, Europe, the bad ones. They opened up their jails and they dumped them in the United States. And now this beautiful young woman who seems to be, boy, she loves what she does though. I think she loves what she does because she's a patriot. She hates to see it. And Tom and all the people. But for us to spend, hundreds of billions of dollars, this is just, I don't know. They either hated the country. Who would do this? Who would want millions of people to pour through an open border? We have no idea who the hell they are, and just walk right through. And half of them, whether you like it or not, you could look at them and you could say they are not going to help us. These are some rough people. But then empty out their jails, and then empty out their mental institutions, insane asylums, and they let them into the United States of America. And inflation we can fix, and all of the other things we can fix. We'll get it going. But this is something, it's such a horrible thing, and it's really hard. We have to do deportations. Now we're doing self-deportation. We're coming up with all sorts of ideas. And they must have known it's not going to work out well. And, we want people to come into our country, by the way. We need them badly for the jobs. But we want them to come in legally. They have to come in legally. They have to show that they can love our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Get those cameras out of here. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's Donald Trump right there, once again, being a hypocrite, all right, lying his behind off. How are all these millions and millions of dollars coming in when we all see what's going on with the stock market, when we see what's happening with the 401ks? If there's millions and millions and millions of dollars coming in, sir, who is getting the money? Because it surely isn't the American people. And by the way, you see what they did, the Republicans did. Your Medicaid now is on the line, MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire, because once again, Donald Trump is proving to the American people and the entire world that there's no bottom to how low these people will go to continue to worship him and believe his lies. But at the end of the day, I don't believe him, and neither should you. Let's go. Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA.
Yeah. So we wake up today and China puts 125% tariffs. You know what that means? I posted the video, and W to Andrea. Thank you for sharing it with me. W to Andrea. You shared this video with me, and actually I did a post on it. You can go see it. His supporters are now crying because whether his supporters want to acknowledge it is true or not, a lot of you supporters of his, you are benefiting from China. You didn't know it. You thought Donald Trump was going to exclude you because you were the special one. But now Trump supporters, ladies and gentlemen, because of this trade war, remember he said no wars under me. It would have never happened under me. Then he goes out and literally starts a war with China, right? It's a trade war for now. But his supporters are now understanding that the United States is really deeply ingrained in a lot of countries' economies. This idea, America first, that y'all fell for, is destroying you. Nothing makes me happier than to know that, I know real innocent people are caught up in this, and that bothers me and it grinds my gears. But nothing makes me happier than to know there's a Trump supporter out there who was running a business. Now that business is gone because of their dear leader. W. Zeus. Somebody who wrote that double D77. Are you still asking us how he is destroying you? Are you still asking us these questions, MAGA? Don't ask. You know what? I'm not even going to give you the answer. But I'll tell you what. There's a lot of people sleeping in their cars these days, all right, because they don't have the money, Double D. Now, if you could get back to me and explain what's going on, I would greatly, greatly appreciate a lot more Trump supporters, I should say. Let me go ahead and put that out there. It's a lot of the Trump supporters, Double D. As a matter of fact, there's a video on my page. It's the most recent video that I posted. You are more than welcome, Double D, to go and watch it. All right. And it's a Trump supporter, someone who said, I voted for Donald Trump. And now my business is, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it 6 months because of these tariffs. So Double D, if you go watch that video, come back, I'll bring you up and we'll have an honest conversation about it. But outside of that, I'm going to need you to do me a huge favor. I'm going to need you to sit your special behind down and continue to listen to this special broadcast. W. Zeus. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right up. All right. We don't got all morning to do this, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a Trump supporter, you can send me a guest request or put a 1 in the chat. All right. I ask people to put the 1 or write down something that lets me know you're a Trump supporter so I can identify you. All right. Yeah, because what I like to do is I like to go back and then forth. All right. Oh, what did you say? Wow. So you can Swiss the words around and make yourself look up. Jeff, I don't know what the heck you're saying, Jeff. Seriously. But it sounds like you're a Trump supporter, Jeff. Come on up here. Come on up here, Jeff. It doesn't take long to get up here and get a little dose of your medicine, all right? It doesn't take long for me to debunk these Trump supporters because I know that the information I've already looked up, the stories that I've heard, and the circles that I frequent, I can already hear it. All right, these people are miserable right now. These people are sitting there on the edge of their seats. They're watching Fox News, saying, "Fox, please give me some good news about our dear leader." All right, and Fox News, they don't even have it. All right, put a one in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. Who is this? Tell me what you stand for. All right, Carolyn, come on up here, Carolyn, if you don't mind. I can help you. It doesn't take long to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Carolyn, please come on up here, and I'll tell you what I stand for. All right. Fox is not news. I completely agree with that. I totally agree with it. All right. Okay. I heard the Penguins of McDonald and Hurt Island are going to implement 50% tariffs. All right. Now, actually, that's funny. W's in the chat for Moo. Nice to see you. Oh, Carolyn, you came up here. I knew you would come up here, Carolyn, because I'm a nice person, right? And also, I'm also handsome, right? Good morning, Carolyn. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Am I handsome? And you know that? Come on, you can go ahead.
I can't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, am I handsome? Come on, you go ahead and say it. You can tell the truth.
Well, besides that, you are a fellow Democrat, so naturally I think you're handsome.
Okay, fair enough. You know, I got to do that. I had to use one of the H's, ladies and gentlemen. So, Carolyn, you voted for Donald Trump, I take it, right?
No, I didn't vote for no damn Donald Trump. I hate his ass.
Oh, well then how did I confuse you, Carolyn? You're tricking Big Zeus. Oh my gosh, you hate Donald Trump?
I'm not tricking you. Don't play funny now. I'm from Chicago.
Oh, shout out to Chicago. So,
all I said was that I, like a lot of other black people across the country, I kept up with all of it.
Okay.
We were disappointed that certain things weren't addressed.
Like
and
what?
We wanted to vote for somebody besides Trump or Kamala. Oh. Let's see if it happens again. Then I will still go vote Democrat like I've been all my life. But I was very disappointed in what they stand for. Even Newsom Gavin said the Democratic Party right now, as it stands, is very toxic.
Wait a second, Carolyn. Now, did I hear you correctly? You didn't vote for Kamala Harris either?
I didn't vote for neither one. And my friend said, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, let's see what happens. Sure enough, everything I said came to pass. Cubans voted 90% for Trump. Mexicans voted 56%. And Puerto Ricans voted 33%. And I'm going to be concerned about the Venezuelans that killed 3 black women in Chicago.
Wait a second. You got to say unalive. Now, Carolyn, you said you from Chicago, Chi-Town?
Yes.
And you did not vote.
It's a Democratic Party. I didn't vote this time.
Okay. Well, I have a rule on my show. Maybe you didn't know it, but if you didn't vote, you don't have a voice. All right?
Okay, no problem.
All right. Now you go on.
This is my first time coming across you. No problem.
I appreciate it, but right now, unfortunately, Carolyn, and I'm going to need to ask you to do me a huge, huge favor. Next time you have this opportunity, I don't want you to say I'm going to do a protest vote. Because now look at where we're at right now. You know now, right, that if you would have at least voted for Kamala, we wouldn't be in this situation, right?
It wouldn't have made much difference. That's what I told
you. I gotta shut that down. I gotta shut that down. Carolyn, I'm gonna need you to knock it off. It wouldn't have made much difference. See, that's a cop out where I'm from, right? Okay. That means I'm gonna try to get mine on the under, ain't nobody looking kind of attitude, right? And I'm not going to participate. I know that style, and I'm just here to let you know. Yeah, I've tried that. Listen.
Did you know there was thousands of black people who didn't vote for Trump and didn't vote for Kamala?
That's why I'm telling you this. You talking to somebody that ain't just new to this, who is true to this. All right, Carolyn? You cannot sit on the sideline and then act like you're a player in the game at the same time. It don't work like that.
Okay.
Because no one knows where you're standing. You want to take the position.
Well, I just told you I don't care for Trump.
Yeah, but see, where we're at right now, Carolyn, is we got Trump.
Yes.
Now you want to get in the game and play. And I'm going, I don't know where your flag been planted at. You haven't picked a side. See, you could
I
come
did.
on my
I've been
show.
voting
No,
Democrat
you
all
could,
my life.
no, you could come on my show and argue how much you hate Trump, and then you could go on another person's show and say I hate Kamala Harris
Oh no,
because
I don't
I'm
do
Carolyn.
that. I thought you were interested, and that's the reason I stopped by.
Well,
when I was
well,
going.
well. You know I'm interested in Anthem. I get you that, but I need you to not go around and act like you are innocent now because you didn't play the game.
But why
Yo,
blame us?
because you know a lot of us back in the day didn't even have the right to vote. Remember? That's where
Of
we
course
come
I
from.
didn't. I'm older than you are.
I know. So you know there was a point where we wasn't even allowed to vote, right?
But we vote now.
No, but you didn't vote. So our
We vote.
ancestors,
You want
listen,
me to just vote for her, and she was saying things against black men?
what was she saying against black men, man?
Oh, she was doing a lot in California. Didn't I tell you that I had people in California?
Man, where are you getting this information from? Because, see, I don't mind helping you get on the right path. I know a lot of people get mad if I talk to people that didn't vote, but I'm also concerned now. You didn't tug at my heart this morning, and I'm going, ma'am, where are you getting this information from to make you believe that Kamala Harris was doing wrong to black men?
Well, didn't you see all those black men?
W. Kabira. Huh?
You wasn't paying attention to all these black men who were dissatisfied with what she was talking about?
I've
You
seen.
didn't pay no attention to that?
You mean the Blagger? Blagger?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was a new term to me when I first heard it, but there are Blagger out here. And you know what I'm going to say to you? You know, during the Civil War, there were black people that were for the South. Did you know that? They were part of the Confederate because in their minds, they believed that if they fought for the Confederate, they would get freedom. So they're out there.
Black men who was conscripted. They but get into the Confederate army.
What did you say? What did I say? What did you say?
I said there were black men, slaves who were conscripted to go into the service with them. That much I do know.
Yeah. But there's also those who voluntarily surrendered their lives to the Confederate.
They didn't know any better.
No. They knew better, but they've been manipulated into believing, because these people could read and write and comprehend. They were manipulated into believing that if they fought along the side of the South, that they would then be free.
You told the truth.
Huh?
Oh, at least you came to the point thinking that, and I had to straighten you out that I'm not a MAGA and I didn't vote. But you know what? I believe in my country. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna survive. You see all the black people out there dancing with the boots, with the band? They can care less. I'm not marching out there with them. I don't believe in nothing they say. All they talk about is transgenders, abortion, immigrants. That's all they talked about. And then they lost.
Ma'am,
that's what they lost.
Ma'am, but you're ignoring.
You don't believe that.
I see it. I see it just like you. I see it. I keep up with everything that's happening. But what I want to make sure you and I are on the same page about is this.
Okay.
For you to not vote and know your history. Yes. I'm blown away because a lot of places in this country right now, they're doing things like voter suppression, making it harder for you to even be able to vote, right? And for you in your position of privilege to be in the United States of America and a woman of color, a woman too, and go during the election cycle say, I'm not going to participate because I don't like anyone. It is a slap. I didn't listen. I won $1 million. Listen. I won $1 billion. That's not how life works. That is not how life works. No, Carolyn.
You're kind of sort of right, but don't bring Jesus into it now. Okay, stop doing that.
What do you mean?
This ain't about Jesus. This is about you having a free will to vote or not vote. So I did run across you.
Well, where did you get free will from? Wait a second. Hold on. You said don't bring Jesus, but Jesus was all about free will. But Jesus was about free will. Jesus was about free will. So you just brought Jesus in this. See how that works? So it's okay for you to bring up free will, but I can't. I'm telling you something. Yeah. W Zeus in the chat. Jesus, Carolyn. I'm gonna need you to relax, Carolyn.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you know what? Are you on every Friday?
I'm on every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm gonna need you to keep coming back to this show because I can work with you.
Okay.
I really can, but you got to be willing, because I understand the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You know what I'm saying when I say what I say, right? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Yeah. And what I don't want you to do ever again.
Long as you know I'm not a Trump supporter.
I know, but listen, but when you don't plant your flag on the right team, on the right side, how can anyone know? How can anyone know?
Now you know.
Well, we got to have this conversation. If this was the case, you could have voted for Kamala Harris and still said she wouldn't have been the woman I initially chose, but I was present.
So you want to say now that you mentioned, you want to hear something? I got to the poll and was getting ready to vote for, and it closed at 7.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Okay, Carolyn.
I changed my mind at the last minute.
Lord have mercy, Carolyn. Carolyn, I'm gonna need to move it along. All right, Carolyn.
All right,
but I'm gonna need you to do better out here in these streets. All right, you don't get any points for not playing the game. All right.
All right.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and please come on back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my new friend Carolyn. I don't need to send her to the lake of fire because I think she understood what I was saying without me saying it all the way. All right, now, that's what you call a rap. That's what you call a rap. Let me go ahead and bring up my next guest, my good friend Q Dog. Welcome to the show, Q Dog. Hey, how are you doing, brother?
Well, I'm on vacation this week.
Okay.
Down in Florida. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm listening to that lady, and
okay,
that breaks my heart because I know she was well older than me. And I'm just wondering how she thinks not participating in voting when people have lost their lives.
Thank you.
Get the opportunity to vote. You got people that are her age now that
you there, Carolyn?
Remember when they got a chance to vote, they had to pay to vote. When you black, you had to pay. It was a lady on a post that right after the election.
Yeah.
And she had a shirt on and the gentleman interviewed her. And she said, "Yeah, I remember I had to pay $60 to vote." Wow. Here in Alabama. Selma, Alabama. And she was around when Martin Luther King marched in Selma, Alabama. To give them the rights to vote. But you have this woman right here that, oh, well, I'm not going to vote for anybody. I don't like Trump. You might as well. You done gave your rights up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand that.
Carolyn, I hope you listening, Carolyn, because this is you didn't went down this path this morning, and we got to get you on the right side.
I really wanted Takesha to come up and just I know you saw me in the chat. Please bring Takesha up. She would have took her to church.
Oh well, you know what? If Carolyn is still here, we might be able to lay hands this morning. We might be able to. Carolyn, are you still there? All right, Carolyn, please identify yourself in the chat. All right, I want to. Me and Takesha too. I got to make sure if the audience wants this. If the audience want this on a Friday,
I think it needs to be put into her soul that just because you sit back and you watch other people suffer and you don't participate in trying to alleviate the pain. You see what's going on here. I saw your post you put on the page about the professional MMA fighter.
Oh,
that was detained and put into a federal prison. And all he was doing was coming here to do a seminar.
This part.
He wasn't staying. He was coming here to do a seminar. This is the type of rhetoric that we have to go through as minorities.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, if you ain't white tea, it ain't right. That's what it's coming to, and it's a sad case. It's always been like that, but now it's on the front.
That part,
the forefront. They not hiding behind no blinds and hiding in the woods. They coming out to the streets and telling you what they're gonna do, and they're gonna do it to you because they feel they got the backing from this president.
Thank you.
Same thing back from the early 1900s to the 1970s. They did the same thing. And we keep reiterating about the Triple K and whatnot.
Yeah.
They not coming out with no hoodies on no more. They know that they the Triple K. They coming out in the business suits. They coming out in police uniforms. They're coming out in judge uniforms.
Yep. You think it's funny, or not funny, but you know how they like to identify people of color and look at their tattoos and say, oh, they could be trouble? Isn't it interesting that Pete Hegseth has all these tattoos? You know, ain't that weird how it's okay, white is right, when it comes to Pete Hegseth and his tattoos? Oh, you could be the Secretary of Defense with all of those.
And nowadays, that's just like going to get you a candy bar from the store, going to get a tattoo. It ain't no different. But see, the thing is, what I still don't understand is how is it that they talk about deportation? They constantly driving this, and ain't no one mentioned anything about Europeans. Help me understand that.
Yeah. I don't have anything
y'all
else.
Came over here illegally. Y'all, the Europeans that came over here to do illegal things, such as slavery and so forth.
Yep.
They still haven't mentioned one word about. I haven't seen one on the news talking about being deported back to Europe.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
I'm waiting for that on CNN, NBC, CNBC, Fox News. You know they're not gonna say nothing.
You would think they would have found someone that's from Europe and sent them to El Salvador. Is that what you're suggesting, Q-Dog? And you're saying we haven't seen anything like that? I
think they're using that as a smoke screen. Trying to make it seem like they doing something big. like what's the lady's name? The Attorney General?
Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, we captured a leader of the I don't know if we want to say that on TikTok, but we know the name of the game.
Yeah, now, MS. She said it was the MS-13 game.
Help me understand.
Pam is doing an awesome job.
Help me understand what leader is going to be giving you that much access that you could just come get him right off the street.
Right. That part. We know how it works.
They ain't said nothing about the organized crime with the families up in those areas in New York and Chicago and Philadelphia. We know organized crime. They ain't said nothing about that. When are y'all gonna start raiding their houses?
Thank you.
Because y'all know what's gonna happen if you do.
Thank you. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you. We're gonna try to move it on, all right?
No doubt.
And I'm gonna see if we can get. I thought Carol, what was her name, Caroline? I thought she was gonna come back up here. We're gonna lay hands on her, but she's not doing that. So we'll wait for her to get the courage to come back. Yeah. If y'all see Carolyn out there,
hopefully we can get Takesha to come up and try to wing her back to the panel.
Thank you.
There was one that I wanted you to bring up. Her name's Kimball, whatever. She spams the chat a lot with a lot of rhetoric, but just never comes up on the panel.
Oh, well, send a Kimball, send a request, and we'll get you up here and straighten out as well.
I want to see what she got. She got so much to talk about in the chat about this, that, and the other. The chat knows what I'm talking about because I've been trying to get her to come up.
Okay.
She's the one that used to stalk me.
Oh.
You remember that one. Yeah.
Oh.
In the chat, used to stalk me in the chat.
Oh.
So
someone said Kimmy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm encouraging her to come up on the chat and speak her mind, talk about what she wants to talk about, but she just doesn't do it.
Got it. Well, you know what? If she does send a request, I'll bring her up. But in the meantime and in between time, she's going to have to lay there and burn. All right, brother? I think it could be something else besides that, if you ask me.
Oh, all
right?
You already know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Q-Dog. No lies. The protected. All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All
No doubt.
right.
Salute to you, bro.
All right. Salute. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, we went from somebody that's actually we had someone that's clearly. Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. I'll bring you up. Are you a Trump supporter? Please put a 1 in the chat, and I'll bring you right on up. If you think Donald Trump is doing a good job, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll bring you right on up here. And don't ask about what the Democrats are doing and not doing, because as far as I'm concerned, you're a bunch of ungrateful people and you don't really deserve to have an answer, because every single answer we give you, you're going to turn around and twist it into some sort of weird lie. Texas guy, come on up here, Texas guy. All right, I see Texas guy. Come on up here, Texas guy. It is your opportunity to actually have a conversation with Big Zeus, all right, and try to climb Mount Olympus if you can. All right, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, I don't think Texas guy wants to come up. All right, that's fine. Who else? Who is this? Mayor, are you a Trump supporter, Mayor? Are you a Trump supporter? All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here, all right? Well, I believe that they're scared because the writing is on the wall, all right? They understand that they really have nothing to brag about right now, all right? Impeach him, make America great again. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. He is scared too, yeah. They are chicken. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's give him a little bit. Oh, look at this. A report just came out. Consumer sentiment plummets to the second lowest level. Oh, my goodness. All right, they're dropping like flies. 3 years from now, they will still. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring up my good friend Moo. Moo, you said you have some economic news to share with us, brother.
Yeah, how you doing, Zeus?
I'm all right. You?
Yeah. Good, man. Good. So, so a lot of things MAGA don't realize, and I doubt Donald Trump knows this, man. So, a lot of the countries that trade with us invest in us by buying what are called bonds or treasury securities, right?
Right.
So, China holds roughly 1 trillion of our debt in treasury securities.
Wow.
Japan holds roughly 1 trillion of our debt in treasury securities. And if you throw Canada and Mexico in there, you have about 3 trillion of USA debt in treasury security bonds.
Right.
So if they wanted to all get together and do what would be a nuclear option, right, and sell off all those securities all at once.
Wow.
You would have the devastation of the American dollar. Interest rates would spike beyond all reality.
Right.
And the markets would go right to hell, right? The bond market and the equity market. So I don't think a lot of people realize that that's an option for China alone to sell off all their debt that they own of ours would be devastating to this economy. You also need to understand, and I hear a lot of MAGA talking about this, 40% of China's workforce is automated at this point.
Whoa.
You need to understand something. China is the second richest country in the world in under 100 years. 100 years ago, they were one of the poorest countries on the face of this planet.
Wow.
And so you need to understand something. Capitalism and feudalism have been the 2 economic systems that have been shown to create a wealthy economy up to this point, right? What you have right now, what China's done is called a hybrid model. They do not say that the public sector, right, the public bureaucracy, the government bureaucracy, they do not demonize the public bureaucracy, right? They value the public bureaucracy more than the private bureaucracy, okay? And they do not allow massive monopolies to take over their entire private bureaucracy, okay?
Right.
They also don't allow the private bureaucracy to come in, fire the public bureaucracy, get rid of all the government workers, right?
Right.
So China, because China has this hybrid model, right? They are able to take the private bureaucracy and the public bureaucracy and channel those resources into a single goal, such as advancing past the USA in automation.
Wow.
In AI, right? Look at DeepSeek. Joe Biden even restricted the types of chips that China could have, but yet, without a huge conglomerate monopoly, they were able to make AI better than ours, cheaper than ours.
Yep.
Right?
I remember that.
Or better, right?
Yep.
They've made robotics cheaper than ours, better than ours. They have become They're at 5% GDP year over year. We're at 2. They are catching up to you. Don't know you guys think they still have children working in these sweatshops? That's not China anymore. You guys have the wrong idea. They have AI identification systems all across the country. They have high-speed rail systems.
The best.
They almost have half of their manufacturing workforce automated. They deployed 300,000 robots into the workforce in 2023 alone. That is half of the world deployment of robots into the manufacturing workforce alone. You guys don't understand what the fuck you... Sorry, I apologize. You don't understand what the frig you're dealing with right now. You guys want, and by you guys I mean MAGA, you want 1930s economics mixed with pre-World War I economics, where we are the only country, and we are a country of technology consumption.
Yeah.
And technology exportation. That's what we are, and we will never go back to being a textile manufacturing country. We manufacture software. That's what America does best. Adobe, Microsoft, Google. America makes software, and we do it really, really good, but the problem is now you have a country that can do everything we can do with less resources, less money, has a hybrid economy. Capitalism's going to fall.
Yeah.
And you're going to find that people who do not demonize their government, because all of our technology came from the government. The internet came from the government.
Facts.
All the cell phone parts you have come from military.
Yep.
Military technology.
Thank you.
So when you demonize your government, right? When you don't have the private, because we don't. We have massive monopolies that demonize our government.
That part.
The private sector and the public sector do not work together well. China does not have that problem. And because they don't have that problem, they are going to surpass us faster than when we had our economic boom.
Wow.
That's all I got for you, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I like to call, that's what you call a real knockout, all right? W's in the chat for Move. No lies detected. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that difficult to get up in the box and be open, honest, and transparent. This is right. All right. Why do you guys, you Trump supporters, why do you want to go back in time and basically destroy all the progress that we've made and make it a situation where China just eats our lunch and we have to beg them for mercy? I mean, look at where we're headed right now. He wants to Trump wants to put a tariff on pharmaceuticals. So you get rid of the people here that are actually doing the research to help us create these medicines and force them to leave this country and go to countries like China. And then in order for you to get the treatment you need, you're going to have to pay hand over fist. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you Trump supporters, y'all are prime candidates for hell. Y'all don't even understand this. 9 times out of... How many Trump supporters have been to China? Put it this way. Any of you Trump supporters been to China, by the way? I just want to double check. Any Trump supporters been to China? Maybe this is the problem. Because Moo wasn't lying. If you go over there, you're going to go, oh my gosh, this does not look like what I thought it looked like over there. Look at them, none. They have barely left their trailer parks. And if you haven't seen it, but China is doing these videos now mocking the United States of America, right? They show these Trump supporters in their MAGA hats working in shoe factories with Donald Trump, right? They're showing them this is what you guys want, and this is what it's going to look like while you're out here screaming, we don't need China. They're on their iPhones, ladies and gentlemen, saying, we don't need China. Okay, yeah. All right, if you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. Okay, yeah. All right, if you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. All right, and I'll bring you up. All right, it doesn't matter what type of Trump supporter you are. I promise you, we will debunk you. We will annihilate you with so much facts, data, and statistics, information, and truth. You won't know what to do with yourself. All right, and I see some people in the chat are getting worked up. Maybe you didn't hear my warning at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Oh, it's been lagging. I don't know why it's lagging. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm looking for someone says Texas guy. Texas guy, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat and I'll bring you up real quick, Texas guy. Oh, someone said maybe Zeus can go to China. I've been to China before, Viper. Come on up here, Viper. You think it's something, you think I need to go back to China and do something like what? Texas guy, come on up here. There you go, Texas guy. I see you. I see you. You're getting real famous in my comment section, all right, Texas guy? And I would hate for my moderators to do it to you, but Texas guy, maybe you didn't know this is how I run my broadcast. If I invite you up and you don't accept the invite, then what they're allowed to do is they're allowed to put you in a straitjacket, right? And they can put you in there as long as they need to, because what I think then when you don't come up is I start to think that perhaps this is something from the Kremlin, right? You know, Russian propaganda being pushed into this live, and I don't want you in my live, Texas guy, polluting the chat with your nonsense. What I need you to do, thank you, W's in the chat for Rick. I don't need you in here disturbing the learning experience of everyone else, all right? So just continue to sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast, all right? You just might learn something. All right, so let's get back to the audience out there. I'm looking, any Trump supporters out there willing to get up here and defend their dear leader, put a 1 in the chat. It won't take long for me to do this. All right. I'm looking. I gotta be fair, right? People say, Zeus, you're scared to talk. You're scared to, they say, Zeus, you're scared to debate me and all this other stuff. So this is MAGA's opportunity, honestly. Wait a second, who is this? Marsha, Democratic or Republicans are perfect. They all lie. But Marsha, I agree that everyone is lying. But where do you draw the line, Marsha? Trump is doing what Democrats wanted for years. Oh. Okay, Mook Duke. That's a funny name. Why don't you come up here and explain that to me? All right, W Marissa in the chat. Mook Duke. All right, Marsha, you want to send a guest request? You can. All right, I'll bring you right on up here. All right, who do we have next? Let me go see. Who do I have next? Who do I have right here? Kathy. Good morning, Kathy. How are you doing? Kathy, did you accidentally send a request? Okay, all right. Well, then you know what we'll do. We'll bring up Takesha. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing? Good morning, Takesha.
Hey, Zeus.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. I really am.
Well, listen. I put my request in, but I wasn't ready to come up yet.
Oh, okay. You want me to bring you down and bring you up later?
I may be able to. I'm trying to find. I lost a ring.
Oh.
I'm trying to find my ring.
Oh, okay. We'll just put the request in, all right?
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. W Takesha. There you go. I'm going to bring up my good friend, Dr. Lex. How are you doing, Dr. Lex? How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day, in the kingdom, tending to the affairs.
Yeah. I think that people are. I was kind of hanging out to see if any Trump supporters came up, but they're kind of scared of you, I guess, right now, huh?
Well, maybe it's not that. I think they're really trying to figure themselves out right now, because I believe that they know Donald Trump is making them suffer. And when you're suffering, it's hard to celebrate when you're basically worried about your Medicaid being cut, right? Your Social Security is slow, it's drying up, and these tariffs. You hear the businesses you go to talking about, yeah, I think I might be going out of business. It's very hard to get out here and support that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been able to get on here the last few. With Trump cutting, he's cutting the federal funding for historic Black colleges and universities.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's been. It's an active effort, and then you run into these kids that you're getting into finals now. So I've been hosting music lives too. What I do is I show people the intricacies of older recordings, like from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But what
how often do you do that?
I might do it right after your show.
Oh, okay.
I usually do it. It's a lot of fun. I play a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've got studio sessions from Michael Jackson and the Beatles. And
Wow.
stuff that you get to hear songs that you've never heard in certain ways.
Okay. I gotta go check this out.
But the reason I started doing it is I started getting on TikTok, and I'll take the whatever coins and stuff that I get. I usually use it to buy these kids sandwiches and pizza and stuff like that for their finals because historic black college funding is being cut.
Wow.
So these kids are you run into these kids and they can't get gas money or, lunch. And because of the cuts in funding, the cuts to the USDA. I mean,
well,
if you are a good... Go ahead.
So you don't support cutting funding to the Department of Education because look at where we're rated in terms of education compared to other countries. According to Donald Trump, we're the worst in the world. Don't you think it's necessary to cut the Department of Education's funding and send it back to the states?
You know something? What that does is it just makes the tip of my locks itch. It's the most annoying thing ever because I could literally show you text messages from kids that I've helped that have been put in these horrible situations and get and trying to turn around and get I've been getting their admission waived to the college I represent,
right,
and get them into scholarship programs and making these moves around because these kids with these student visas, which I'm starting to notice a trend, it's mostly black kids that are getting cut off.
Ain't that something?
Like I told you earlier this year, the young lady that ran track that I had to get flown back to the Bahamas, and her mother just recently passed away from cancer, and they kicked her off in camp, told her that she needed to be off campus in 48 hours in the snow. Wow. Her father's 1,000 miles away.
And these are so-called Christians. These are the people that brand themselves as good people out here in the community.
Well, I mean, the thing is how can you call yourself a Christian or a good human being when you're just hurting people over and over again? And it doesn't matter, the thing is they're doing it to us, a lot of our community, the black community, but
yep,
they're hurting everybody. But you how can you get on here and argue on the behalf of somebody that hurts people?
Yeah.
Where does that make you lie?
This is why This is why I believe every single Trump supporter, honestly, they're prime candidates for hell because they might think that in their heart they're good people, but they're hypocrites. How do you justify voting for somebody that clearly worships the devil?
Yeah, I mean, I sit here, I'm looking for them in the comments to say something. How is it? I would like to talk to you. I want somebody to come up here that's chirping.
Who's
not
chirping?
Like trash bait. No, they're not on here chirping, but somebody put ha 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 ha. But like trash bait. Trash bait is a horrible human being. Period. And
he is.
And you have to think to yourself when you're thinking of these little 18-year-old girl that's 5'1" getting put on out of a school on a campus in Tennessee, and her mother's passed away, and her father's 1,000 miles away, and she's up here by herself just trying to make it.
Yeah.
They don't care about people.
Hey, user, someone said prove that he worships the devil. User, go look at his mugshot. W Zeus in the chat. Easy. That's his mugshot, user. Look at that. Look at his eyes.
So, something. The thing is if I am a duck and I have feathers and a beak and webbed feet and I'm quacking, then I'm a duck. Mm-hmm. So behavior will represent itself. So if you're sitting there signing executive orders, taking things away from people, taking chemotherapy treatments away from veterans, and mental health away from veterans, trying to cut Medicare and Medicaid for elderly people. I mean, he literally said his own nephew should unalive.
Yeah.
I mean, does that sound godlike to you?
Absolutely not. It sounds like evil. It sounds like wickedness. It sounds like corruption, hatred, all of the fruits of the devil, the demons. That's what it is.
Zeus, name one white person in the Bible.
I don't know any. I've never read one. Why is that?
I mean, they seem to think that their religion, their Jesus.
Well, you know what? They can believe that, but that's the way to go to hell, right? A lot of these Trump supporters, they don't understand that the road, the path to hell, it's a train track, and it's a train. It's called the Trump train, right? And their conductor is this guy right here, and every single person on that Trump train, I promise you, you're gonna do a drive-by to the pearly gates. You're gonna see people like myself and Dr. Lex. You're gonna go, oh, that's our stop, and the train is gonna keep going until you end up in hell.
So there's something else that has metal wheels on it. It's called a dumpster.
I love it.
So it's literally a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
but I'm probably gonna go live as soon as you get off. I'll usually wait for you to get off.
Okay.
And
all right.
And I'm gonna run a music live for probably about an hour, maybe. So.
All right, I'll try to pop in there, brother. All right. I usually get off and get started with what I do over here. But in the meantime and in between time, as always, it's a pleasure to check in with you. All right.
Sounds good. I'll be waiting in the wings if somebody comes up here, because I would like to talk to some of these guys today.
Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Dr. Lex. No lies detected. Yeah, there you go.
You gotta kick me off.
Oh, I got you. All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it's a show of force. We've got the Trump supporters it's like putting fish in a barrel, right? There's really nowhere for them to run. The only way that they can get out of this predicament that they're in is to issue a public apology. So since none of the Trump supporters want to come up here and defend their dear leader, let's go this route. Any Trump supporters want to apologize to the United States of America for committing treason this morning? Any Trump supporters out there? I'll bring you up. We can get you straightened out. Right? W's in the chat for Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany. I'll let the Trump supporters come up and apologize and admit that they've made a mistake. All right. Any Trump supporters want to apologize? I'm looking for I'm looking in the chat, because if you don't want to defend them, then there's really this is the only way out. They're too ashamed. They shouldn't be ashamed. They should be willing to come forward and get out of this cult that they have found themselves in. All right. Let's see. Go ahead. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Please follow me. I want to be. Oh, no. I saw earlier. Okay, there you are, user. You want to come up here, user? Send me a guest request. I can't invite you directly, but you could go ahead and send Big Zeus a guest request. Someone wrote, "I haven't seen red hats in public." Well, that's interesting. Oh, Carlos, my man, come on up here, Carlos. I knew you would do it. Come on up here, Carlos. All right, I knew you would do it. Welcome back, Carlos. It's crickets out there.
It's crickets? No, dude. It's not crickets.
So you guys are like secretly protesting TikTok and stuff like that?
No. I like to apologize for you. That's why
I can apologize. Actually, I can apologize for myself, but no, I'm a grown man, Carlos. No need to apologize for Big Zeus. But and I also think every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. So what do you got?
Well, I want to say, you guys keep condemning Trump, and he's trying to get this country back together, man. He's not there trying to destroy anything. You know what I mean? He's trying to get the country back together. China's been taking advantage. I mean, a lot of countries have been taking advantage, and he's trying to stop that shit from happening.
Well, so keep it clean, but I'm listening.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I hear you. But, he's just trying to get this, get everybody to start working, get rid of all the ones that came in here with their Social Security and getting rid of all that stuff. So real Americans could start making some money, and not real Americans could start making some money and not just hanging out and not complaining about they don't have jobs. He's trying to clean everything up. So people that are Americans should be working and making money instead of other people be making money, and the country just keep going downwards because of all these other people taking advantage. I mean, come on. That shouldn't be happening.
So let's take this whole thing. You said I should be making money. That's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to help me make money.
Well, not only you, but everybody.
Yeah. So let's
I'm
start
talking about everybody. It's not just you.
So the stock market goes down, and what I'm hearing a lot of people say is that they're saying that their 401k and their retirement is going in the negative, so they're losing money. That's a reality. So that's counter.
Well, that's because of the stock market. Yeah. The stock market's going to go down. People don't like change. People don't like to adjust to change, and sometimes change can be better.
So would you say this change that he's done, it's costing the American people though, right?
Right now it is, yeah.
So that means so it's a negative.
Because China is running everything, bro. China is the one that's getting filthy rich off of you, me, and everybody else around the entire world.
But Carlos, when did you realize that? I'll buy that narrative, but the way that the world is set up, the global supply chains, and how these companies are doing business, this has been going on for decades.
Exactly.
It's not.
And you and I didn't even know about it. I didn't know about it because nobody brought it to our attention.
No, actually, I understood it. I knew it because if you buy things, if you use Amazon or something like that, or you run your own business, you've had to be realizing a lot of the stuff people order comes from China in one way or another. If not the product itself, maybe the materials it takes to make the product, and not just China, but all these other countries. So I've always been aware that we're living in a global society. Everything's global. And I actually think the issue is way larger than just the United States. I think this is about humanity's existence, right? And I think we got to get this Earth thing mastered and figured out in order to get us to the next level so we can continue to advance. And what we're dealing with right now is someone who's hell-bent on trying to take us back 100 years. And it's not going to... It's like trying to put old wine, new wine into old bottles right now. You get what I'm trying to say? It's going to cause a serious problem.
Look, Zeus, listen. I understand you way ahead of it though, because that has not happened yet. You know what I mean? You got to. I mean, look, he's not even been in office for a good year yet. You got to let it play itself out.
I have a bet with someone that after the first 100 days, they're going to admit that they were wrong for supporting this person if nothing is going in the direction he said it would go. And where we're at is like day 80 something. And from what I've heard you say is Americans are losing their money in their 401ks. And his thing you said was he's trying to put money in our pockets. He's getting into these trade wars with China, and I don't know why this is so hard for Americans that support. No, I don't want to call them Americans. I don't know why it's so hard for Trump supporters to understand that the tariffs he's placing on any other country ultimately is a tax on themselves. Because nobody running a business is going to run a successful business if they engage in the practice of eating the expense. Everywhere they see there's an expense, I'm going to eat it and absorb it so that the consumer doesn't have to deal with it. No, you're going out of business. So they have really no other choice but to pay the import tax and then to pass that on. Why don't Trump supporters seem to understand that?
Because you see what you're saying? You think China is talking like you? China would never, ever admit their fault. They would never admit they're wrong. They would never admit their fault. They never admit they're stealing. They would never admit any of those things. But because there's so much mixed race in this country that, China, you can't go to China and talk against China. You probably go to jail immediately. We have the freedom. We have the freedom of TikTok where we could go on and we could voice our opinion and say this. You think in China they could do that? You get arrested and go to jail.
First of all, Carlos, I'll address the freedom angle in just a quick second. But I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. The tariffs that Trump is placing on us, it's an additional tax, and it was not here.
It's not on us.
That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It is.
It is to us. I understand that. It is because if you're taxing China, China's going to tax us. So
No. If you run a business and you're importing it from China, and then Trump throws this,
we got to pay taxes.
No, there was no tariff there was tariffs in the first place, but the ones that are in place now that Trump put in, these are on top of those. You were not, the business that was dealing with China didn't have to pay that before, right? That 125% plus whatever it is, they didn't have to pay that. So I'm bringing in these shirts and they cost, $10. Now these shirts cost $12. I'm going to take that extra $2 and whatever it is, and I'm going to make you pay for it, Carlos. I don't understand why you don't understand that. For you, the consumer in the United States, it's a tax on you. I don't understand this. And so when he does this, and I think I know what it is, he says they do that to us, and so we're going to hit them back. He's tricking you into believing that you're not the one he's hitting.
No, well, listen. So we got other countries that says, hey, you know what? 0 tariffs. 0. We'll drop that. We'll forget about tariffs. That's what he's trying to do with China. He's trying to put pressure on China so China could come all the way down and says, hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe we've been charging too much. Let's just drop this shit and move on and let's start business. Let's start business. Let's start doing business.
Gotta keep it clean.
All right. Sorry about that.
So, but the 0% thing, I want to make sure you're understanding. If he says, China, we're going to put a 0% tariff on you, he's basically saying to you, Carlos, I'm not charging you.
Right.
You see what I did? He's saying
look.
He's saying I'm putting it on China, and you think it's going to hit China.
Well,
but I need you to understand, when he talks about doing this, he's actually talking about doing it to you.
Whatever he does to China affects us. That's all there is to that.
No. It directly affects you. The percentage he's placing on those countries, it's really a percentage he's placing on you. You have to understand this, bro.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, if he put pressure on China and China says, hey, you know what? Yeah, this is ridiculous. Let's go to the table. Let's talk. Let's just drop this down to like 5%. You know what I mean? And that would affect us. Of course it will affect us, because now the goods that are coming in, it's not going to be taxed to the point where we have to pay double or triple.
Carlos, China is they said Trump is waiting at the phone right now for
you don't live in China though, man. Wait, let me ask you a question. Zeus, you don't live in China.
Can I finish?
Why are you defending China? Why are you defending China?
Okay, I'll answer that. Trump is sitting right now waiting for President Xi to call him up and do exactly what you said. And you know what President Xi...
Why can't we just support United States, dude? Why can't we just support, I mean, look, no matter what, if Xi is wrong, China will never say that dude is wrong. But the only thing
Would you ever say Trump is wrong?
No, because I live here, bro. I got to support this country, no matter what.
Okay,
no matter what. See, in this country, look, this is the only country where you're allowed to do that. If you were in Russia, you were in China, you're anywhere else. I don't care if Putin is wrong. I don't care if Xi is wrong. I don't care if Kim Jong-un is wrong. You think anyone could go over there and talk against the president?
Carlos,
bro, you get put in jail.
I wanted to address that because you brought up freedom earlier. Are you aware that Trump is taking away people's freedoms with these mass deportations? So I don't even, and he's going after students. He's going after students here. So your narrative or your claim that you can't do it over there is wrong, because it's happening here too now. Unfortunately,
Zeus,
because you have a person here.
Zeus, we gotta love the country, man.
But how do you
cause conflict?
Carlos, how do you show you love the country? How do you show you love the country, Carlos?
By supporting the people and the president. Supporting people. I won't go ahead and say,
Can I say this? Can I say this then?
Yeah.
Did you do that with Joe Biden? Did you support all the things Joe Biden did?
Hell no.
Okay, so you don't love the country.
Because no, it's not. I didn't.
W Zeus in the chat. W Zeus. Carlos. Bro, you are literally talking to someone who's considered an active listener, Carlos. I actively listen to Trump supporters, all right? And I'm connecting dots faster than you could even say the words. I would encourage you, honestly, Carlos, to think about what you're saying, because everything you say that Americans should do to show that they support... Have you listen, come on, let me finish saying what I'm saying. Everything that you're saying Americans should do to show that they love this country, you yourself are going to have to look in the mirror and say, did I do that when President Biden was in the office?
Okay, you know why? I'm not saying I don't agree with everything Biden done.
No, so you don't love this country.
The stuff that I don't agree with Biden is that he just opened the border up and let all these people in here, and they just come in.
Carlos, the thunder is striking, bro. Come on. Is he Sleepy Joe? Is he Crooked Joe? Or is he the one standing?
He's all of the above.
You guys make Biden look like he's he's this boogeyman.
I don't think Biden even understand what he was doing.
Okay, so then
he wasn't even in his right mind.
So Carlos, so then you can't say anything about the border and Biden. Don't put Biden at the border in people's minds and say he was there opening it up. If you're gonna say he's Sleepy Joe, he's Crooked Joe, he didn't even know because you go off of the Hur report.
Trump closed the border immediately as soon as he got in. Just shut it
down. No.
Why couldn't Biden do that? Why couldn't Biden do that? Why couldn't he do that?
He actually, if you look at the numbers before Trump took office, it was going down. Biden did a lot of things. Dude. But the thing is this, Carlos, you know right now you look like the biggest hypocrite on TikTok. You do know that, right?
No, never.
Okay.
All right. Look. Look. The same stuff that Trump is doing right now. Why couldn't any other president do it? They talk about it. I mean, look, Clinton talked about it. Obama talked about it. Getting rid of this one, getting rid of that one, closing the border, making it tight, so people don't pour in the country.
Wow.
And
Carlos, wow, you got people up here I've never seen really send requests now. This is getting crazy.
I like that. You should be happy they send requests.
Hi, Rick.
Carlos, do you mind?
Oh, Rick, you dropped. I thought you wanted to come up. Sorry, Ange, go.
Before
yeah. Let who's this, Angel?
Ange.
Before
you went all over the place, you kind of lost me because you just went all over the place. But
yes, because that's.
Well, you just said like 20 things. Anyway, I want to go back to something you said right within probably the first minute.
Okay.
You said we got to let it play itself out. Can you explain that to me?
Well, I mean, what you guys are assuming is that this whole economy is just going to crash. Everything's going to go haywire. Everything's going to just go. Trump is just here to destroy America. That's what I'm hearing. And I think it's the complete opposite because Biden was the one that was doing that.
Okay, hold on. So to let it play itself out for some people means, how am I going to eat this week? How am I going to put gas in my car?
This was going on before Trump got in office. Extra high.
Carlos,
groceries was high. Gas was high.
Carlos, she didn't even finish making her point.
No.
You just literally.
All right, yeah, my bad, man. All right, go ahead. I'm
Women
sorry
get
about that.
overtalked a lot on this app. We're a little bit used to it.
Don't let them do that to you, Ange.
But shut your blinker off, Dave. But no, for real. Like, do you have? I mean, obviously, you must be sitting pretty comfortably to not have to worry about, hey, how am I going to put gas in my car? How am I going to take my kids to school? How am I going to pay my medical bills? I mean, why is he not focusing on the grocery prices? Those are not going down. Those are going up. My coffee went up. Gas prices are going up.
Wow. Gas prices are down.
Actually, no, it might have gone up 13 cents here. I'm watching it every single day.
Yeah.
Why is he not focusing on that? He's doing nothing to help the United States citizens, which is what he said he would do.
Thank you. And Carlos, please.
Nothing happens overnight. It takes a while he's making adjustments. So when you make adjustments, it takes a little while for it to even go into effect.
Well, we told we were going to feel the pain first.
You've been feeling the pain when Biden was in, but because everybody don't like Trump, everybody's expressing the pain and expressing all this.
In 1 year, and now I won't even fly because I'm afraid plane's gonna drop out of the sky. I won't even fly.
So what are you saying? You're saying it's Trump's fault? The plane's gonna fall out of the sky?
Well, who did he let go?
Come on.
A bunch of air traffic control people, right?
You can't blame that on Trump. You can't.
How many people are they coming in and just gutting out that we absolutely need?
But you can't blame that on Trump, though. You can't.
Get him, Ange.
It's not just going around.
Get him, Ange.
And his little Elon Musk little buddy, and they're gutting things. These are effing.
Well, Elon is.
W Ange in the chat.
Let me tell you. Whoa.
Carlos.
Let me tell you, Elon is in there correcting all the laundering of money, billions of dollars.
Carlos,
that's
what
he's there for.
Public school. Have you ever been in a public school and watched these kids
try
to do that? No, I don't think you have. You got kids in school. You got guidance counselors, right, that are putting together bags of groceries to send home with their kids so they can eat for the rest of the week. And goddamn, Elon Musk and Trump are sitting down there golfing 3 days a week, and we have to pay for it. Billions and billions of dollars. Where's the gosh dang waste there? That's a whole lot of waste, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Biden did it. He was.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
He did it. He was at the beach. Biden was at the beach. Biden wasn't doing anything. Biden wasn't doing anything. Biden, how many times Sleepy Joe been caught sleeping?
Yes, Biden.
I mean, he can't even.
I had to mute him, and she's over talking us. He's mute. It's Biden derangement. You've exposed it. W is in the chat for Ange. She's totally exposed this hypocrite. Carlos, come on now. We're not going to let you use the Biden shuffle to get out of every situation you get jammed up, bro. Come on. Bring something new.
Do you like the oligarchy that's been forming down there at Mar-a-Lago? The fact that how many men own all the wealth in this country? People are starving.
Thank you.
They are children are starving. We've got the president trying to take money away from my state just because my governor said, no, I'll see you in court, because she does not have to listen to him. He's not the boss of everybody. She did not bend the knee. And now he's literally trying to take away all of these social programs, including heating oil away from the elderly and the low income. It's cold up here. It's April. It's still only 34 degrees. He's taking that stuff away from them. Guys are golfing with the Saudis, no less. With Saudi Arabians. What are we doing with them? I don't want to spend my tax dollars helping them freaking golf when kids can't eat.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Carlos.
Gosh dang it.
Carlos, hit unmute, bro. Seriously, bro. We're going to get...
Why are you simping for billionaires? I hear it every day in my life, your life, all the lives I go into. They don't care about you.
They don't care about the kids?
No, you wore your red hat, so you think they care about you. They don't. They don't care about any of us. They're sitting down there golfing and doing whatever the heck they want while the rest of the country is starving and trying to decide, do I put gas in my car? Do I pay these medical bills? This is what's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not struggling with that right now, but I have in the past. I have empathy. This is something we see more on my side than yours.
Thank you. Carlos. No. I wanted to see if he can actually put some answer you now.
Okay. Look, let me tell you. That's your opinion. That's not everybody's opinion. That's just your opinion.
It's a fact. It's going on.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. It's your fact. It's your fact. It's your fact, and you live with it, and you understand it. You feel it, but it's not everybody that feels that way.
Shutting down Social Security.
Not everyone feels like that. You're the only.
I watched my mother. I had to drive her around.
Hey, don't get mad at me. You know, hey, calm down. Calm down.
Crap. You're simping for it. You got a mother you got to take care of? My mother didn't want to be a widow at 65, but she is, so now she depends on me. And I'm watching the Social Security offices close down around her, making her drive extra hours, needing her daughter to help her with these things.
Well, he's trying to eliminate all the waste. You know, he's not closing the security office down.
My mother's Social Security's waste? What does she live
No,
on?
I'm not saying your mother's security. I mean, that area probably need like one security office. So he took out the rest of them. So everybody else can go, and he's trying to save some money.
Else go golfing.
That's the way you do business. That's the way you do business. If you go into a business and it's there's too much employees, you do a cut down. You do a cut down so you can save money.
Why don't we cut down off the friggin' golf courses? Why don't we cut back on all their people, their little people that carry their bags? Why don't we cut down on that?
Yeah.
Biden was doing the same thing.
Biden was not golfing.
He was at the beach hanging out. Come on, I saw him.
All right.
Why?
Carlos, that's 3 strikes, bro. You've brought Biden up 3 times, and
see, look, and now and you brought up Trump. I don't know how many times
because he's the president.
Exactly, Biden was the president too.
No, you didn't love the country when Biden was the president.
I love the country no matter who's in there, bro.
So you supported Biden.
He just said he didn't.
I said, listen. I don't support certain things that he did.
Okay, so why do you think all these people are upset this morning, Carlos?
I have to support Biden. No. I'm not saying I hate Biden. I'm not saying I hate Biden. I say I don't support certain things he did.
So
whatever president come in this country, I have to respect that, and I have to, you know what I mean, love my president and the country, but that doesn't mean I
What do
agree
you
with
like
some of the
about
things
what's
they
he
did.
doing to help you in your daily life? What's he doing that's helping you day to day? What's he helping you? What's he helping you?
What have Biden been doing
Oh
to help
gosh,
me
Here
day
we
by
go.
day?
He's
Carlos.
not the president right now.
Everything is
Carlos.
directed to him right now.
Can you
But
stay
you guys
quiet?
gotta you guys
Focus.
listen. Let's see where we at in a year from now. Let's see how this thing
People
pins
can't
out.
make it a year, sir. Not everybody can make it 1 year. That's what you're not getting. Have you ever been a single parent?
Well,
An elderly person that doesn't
maybe
have
you should find a
anybody to count
boyfriend or
on?
something.
I'm sorry, what?
Maybe you should find a boyfriend.
Well, you know what? I've been married 26 years now. This was my first marriage.
Well, you know
W Ange, hey, you should go to Carlos. Hey, Carlos, maybe you should get a boyfriend.
On my own, and went to college,
You're
got a
funny,
job
dude.
as a teacher, and got remarried.
I have a
Not
wife,
that
brother.
any of that
I
was
don't
your
need a
business,
boyfriend.
but you do not need to go there with people.
Look. I'm not
Look,
going
look,
there with
look.
you. I'm just saying you can get help. You know, like if you have someone with you, you can get help. You know.
Just quiet. I care about other people, not myself right now. I'm helping other people. I don't need it anymore.
But why would you be helping other people and you need help?
She just said she doesn't need help, Carlos.
Stop paying it forward.
Oh, she doesn't need help. Oh,
Paying it
well,
forward.
what are we
is what
complaining
I
about
call
then?
it. Takesha, go ahead. My God.
What are we complaining about if she doesn't need help?
Carlos.
I'm paying
Yeah.
because I care about other people, unlike you.
Oh,
I'm talking about family members
okay.
and other people.
Look. Let me tell
my
you something.
children's friends.
We got a saying that says you
I
can
know
take
you
the
don't
horse to the water,
understand
but
that.
you can't force him to drink. So
Carlos.
you can be over there worrying
Forward.
about other
See,
people,
you don't give a crap about any, oh my God.
other people.
Carlos.
If other people don't care
You're an
about the
idiot.
way they're living, then I don't know what to tell
Carlos.
you.
You are a
Carlos.
selfish
What's up, dude?
fool.
Thank you.
Takesha,
I'm not selfish. I'm not selfish.
You are.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
And I'm keeping it real.
Hi,
You're
Takesha.
selfish.
Hey, Zeus.
I'm done.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm not gonna let Carlos run my pressure up like Ange letting him run hers. I keep telling
No, we
Ange,
don't want to do that to you. We
I
don't
keep-
want to do that.
Oh, I promise to God, you're not gonna do it to me.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Carlos, let him fit.
Hold on, let me finish talking, sir.
Okay.
Now, let's go on and shut down because I'm sick of y'all saying it. Y'all keep talking about everywhere Joe Biden fell asleep at when Donald Trump himself has fallen asleep in court. He's fallen asleep in church. He fell asleep at the RNC. So they're equal. So stop talking about how sleepy Joe Biden was because Trump over here taking no dose trying to stay woke. And y'all act like y'all didn't see that. So let's leave that part about Joe Biden out.
Check.
That's number one.
Check.
When Joe Biden went to the beach, guess what we didn't pay? Joe Biden to go to the beach. Like we paying Donald Trump to go to Mar-a-Lago, his own resorts, to get paid from him having the Secret Service there. So Biden didn't profit off of going to the beach, but Trump profited off going to Mar-a-Lago. Okay, that's number two. And then you said Trump is trying to help the American people. Let me ask you a question. Those people that lost their jobs off the false audit that Elon Musk did, is that helping the American people? Was that their only income where they had to take care of their family? When they lost their income, was that helping those people? No, it was not. Y'all need to quit worrying about China because you're going to go to the store this weekend and buy some more clothes that say made in China. If you don't want to support China, if you don't want to support China, everything that you buy need to say American made. But until you stop buying China stuff, you're supporting China, just like you accuse Zeus of doing.
Amen.
Donald Trump ain't doing nothing but having a pissing contest, and he know he wear a Band-Aid, and that man over in China is probably wearing a gold package condom. No, he's not. He will never outpiss China's president because Donald Trump ain't nothing but a punk who talks a good game that he's never played in. He don't know what he doing. But as long as he make y'all think he know what he doing, y'all gonna keep on supporting him. China is not going to back down. Donald Trump will be the bow down king before China ever goes down. Baby, listen to me. Listen to me.
I've been listening to you.
You struggling.
hold on. You said that the countries started doing zero tariffs. Ain't nobody called Donald Trump. That phone was dried in the Sahara Desert. And the reason I know they ain't called him, because he ain't named not one country. When they asked him to name a country, he said he'd rather not. When has he ever not wanted to embarrass anybody since he said they called him?
That's hearsay. That's hearsay. That, you don't know if that's a fact. You don't know if that's a fact. You don't know if that's a fact. That's hearsay. That's hearsay. That's hearsay. That's hearsay. I can't go by what you're saying.
Hold on. What is that? What is that? Yes?
So cue it up, Zeus.
Play what? What do you want me to
play? The reporter asked him which countries was calling
I thought you said you weren't going to go round up.
Cue it up, Zeus.
Okay. All right. You want me to do that, Carlos, or you want to accept the evidence?
This ain't he'll say. This Trump say. Get it, Zeus.
Hey, let me tell you something. You know why we need to start doing... We know why we need to start cutting back on China, because we need to bring some of the jobs here. We need.
I don't want to hear nothing you got to say till you hear this recording. Let's go, Zeus.
Okay, let's see, Carlos. I want to get, ladies and gentlemen, Takesha is entering evidence. All right, and then we're gonna.
These countries
Takesha,
hold on, Carlos. Hold on. Let's go. Let's get this on the record.
I'm telling you, these countries are.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. No, I'll do anything, sir.
No, Zeus.
And then
there's more.
Play when the reporter asked him which countries were calling, and he said he didn't want to give the name.
Oh.
You played it this morning.
Oh, okay. That's this one. Okay. We'll get there then. All right, let's get there. Okay, this is right here for you, Takesha.
Hasn't been treated properly. Hasn't been treated properly. Yeah.
Mr. President, can you talk to us about your communications with China? Has President Xi reached out at all since the terror?
Well, I don't want to say who's reached out. I just say that I think it's going to work out. Hopefully.
You heard that?
I heard that.
He doesn't want to say who's reached out, but
exactly because nothing has been set in stone. Nothing has been set in stone. He doesn't want to say who.
Let me tell you something. Trump has never been a transparent president.
Listen.
Never.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's getting hard out there, Carlos. Huh? It's getting hard. It's getting hard, bro. I understand.
It's not getting hard, man. It's not getting hard, bro. It's just that.
Well, what countries?
What you guys don't understand when COVID hit.
Oh God! No. Okay, Carlos.
No mask. China was
controlling
everything.
All right, Carlos.
China was controlling
Carlos.
All right. No mask. People was running around making masks. People was running around making masks. You know why?
Oh, go ahead, Takesha. Hit him with it.
Carlos.
Hit him with it.
Let me say this.
Y'all got him doing everything.
I've never seen this. If China was that great that they caused all that over here, what you think Trump can do with a tariff on China? Nothing.
That part. So, Lord have mercy.
You see how he went back all the way back to C-19?
I've never.
China so much. You don't know what China can do to everybody.
Carlos.
You think we over here defending China? You don't know what China can do.
Carlos, I gotta mute you because you're done. Fatality.
Because of Donald Trump. Give me a country that said they're gonna do zero tariffs because of Trump.
Carlos,
And I'm not defending China.
No, you can't wipe me out
yet.
You can't wipe me out yet,
with the wrong one.
Hold on.
President Xi. He's not gonna back down.
I know you want to, but just hold on.
Okay, but I want you to know where we're at in this. I want you to understand where this is at. Where from the way that I see it, Carlos. You are now in C-19 territory, and I'm concerned that by the end of this behind whooping that you're getting from Takesha and Ange, you're going to go back to Obama. You're going to go back to Hillary Clinton. You might even go back to Bill Clinton at this rate.
And back at George Washington.
Yeah, you got jokes. You got jokes.
He gonna go all the way back.
You got jokes.
When Columbus lied and said he discovered America, Carlos gonna be way back there.
You got jokes.
He come back to 2025.
Thank you, because Carlos, you have nothing for 2025. I just want to make sure. So whatever you feel you need to say to us, if it's outside of 2025, bro, I'm gonna do you like they do on Shark Tank. I'm out. I can't do it.
Please come back to the future. Please
if you can't. I'm trying to work with you. I'm trying to call fouls and
I'm
stuff,
trying to
but
work with you guys. You guys don't
No.
understand what China can
you
do.
don't have
China
nothing
is in
for
a
20.
position to
Flagrant at this
destroy
point. Flagrant
a lot
foul.
of countries if they really want to.
So it's Carlos, no
Let me tell you
2025.
what Trump.
You guys
Let me
better
tell
get
you
with the
what Don-
program, man. You
Let me
guys
tell
better
you
start
what
bringing the
Donald Trump.
jobs here and start doing some work.
Carlos.
Let me tell you what
Better,
Donald Trump.
because you know
Let me
what?
tell
All
you.
those toothpaste and all that stuff.
See, he doesn't know any better. He's now doing other things. He's naming products.
Carlos.
He's naming products. Wow.
Carlos,
come on.
You guys better stop having so much faith in
Carlos.
China, man. I'm
Carlos.
telling you.
What's in your house that said made in China? Throw it all out and start over.
That part. You want to show us what's in your
to the
house,
part-
Carlos?
Down to your car part.
What kind of car you drive, Carlos?
I drive an American
China.
What car?
Chevy Silverado.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Big black truck. Is that a big black truck?
Throw your parts away, Carlos.
No, it's a
Throw
big
your
white
clothes
truck.
Away.
Oh,
Throw
white,
your refrigerator and all that away, Carlos.
Big old
And
white
just
truck.
live like a hermit.
Hold on.
Because you don't want to support China.
Hell no, I don't want to support China.
Exactly. So throw all your stuff away and don't buy nothing.
No.
China made,
What choice do I have? What choice do I have? Nothing's been made in America. That's what Trump is trying to change. Trump trying to change that. So look, we trust this country.
Listen,
You gonna trust some other country?
Together for clothes.
Well.
And walk to work.
Well, and
Look,
what I'm hearing right now,
you
Carlos,
guys
what
gotta
year?
wake up.
What year is that Chevy Silverado? Because what I'm reading is some of the parts on there are actually assembled and made in China. Which
I
year
know
is it?
that's right, Zeus.
So, Carlos, would you be willing to drop that
Just
Chevy
walk
today?
everywhere you go.
No.
Walk everywhere you go.
No.
I bet.
I got Chevys, I got Fords. I'm not dropping nothing.
So you support China?
So you support China?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've done an amazing job. This is the rope-a-dope of the day. Carlos is supporting China.
Look, we better start making stuff in the United States.
W China. W China. Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
Stuff in the
Carlos.
United States.
Carlos.
I'm telling you.
So you probably have Latin heritage, right? You're Latino. And you're
I'm mixed.
Okay, you're mixed. So you got Latino in you. You're in the United States of America, and you're supporting China, bro. You are in a world.
I'm not supporting China. How am I supporting China?
You got a Chevy.
Hey Zeus, we gonna
No, I'm not supporting China, dude.
We gonna call him TC.
Don't put words in my mouth, Zeus.
What's TC? What's TC, Takesha? Because we got
China.
All right. Well, listen, Carlos.
We are Trump China supporters.
Say one last thing.
Yeah, I think we've pummeled Carlos this morning in the most respectful way possible, but no one in here believes Carlos. And this is, to me, I feel bad a little bit because we should have let him go a long time ago, but we just kept going in and in. Carlos.
Yeah.
We've exposed you.
Blow me up, Zeus.
And
send me to hell, Zeus. Send me to hell. I know that's what you're gonna do.
Hold on.
You're already living in half
You
of
took
it.
this beating pretty good. I'm going to give you credit. You've been fairly respectful since you got your butt whooped and everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And we didn't lose a magazine either, did we, Ange? Because you know they like that magazine spanking
It
stuff.
actually doesn't seem too bad, but a little lost. But anyway, did you say something? We were talking about the love of your country, right? We all love it.
You know what, Angie,
Yes.
let me tell you something.
Yes. I'd
Just
love
hear
to
me
know.
out for 1 second.
Sure.
You guys just have too much trust in China that if China wants to hurt this country and the people, they can do it so easily. And that's what we need to start realizing.
Carlos,
You got too much.
Zeus, let me talk, Zeus. Let me just say it, Zeus. Zeus, listen, Zeus.
How much time you need?
I just
Zeus.
wasn't going to go there, but go ahead.
How much
let me
how
tell
much
you,
time
Zeus.
you need, Carlos? How much time you need to spread this?
1 minute.
A
minute.
minute, bro.
You
a minute,
only give
dude.
her 1 minute.
1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Listen, all I'm saying is the jobs need to come back here. We need to start making stuff here where we can trust people that we can trust, that we can rely on. We're relying on a country that we don't even know what kind of chemicals, what they're putting in all that stuff and sending it over here, man. That's all I'm saying. We need to rely on this country and the people that live here. That's all I'm saying.
We can't even trust Trump.
Okay.
So how
Okay.
you gonna tell us?
And that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Okay, all right. Now,
That's all I got to say.
now they want to say they want to respond to you real
Okay.
quick.
All right, go ahead. Respond.
Talk about the love of your country and stuff. What was Donald Trump doing when they brought home those 4 soldiers that were unalived in Lithuania? What was Donald Trump doing?
I don't know what he was doing. You wanted to share that with me?
He was golfing with the Saudi Arabians. He was golfing. And quite honestly, I think most of us here, especially we're patriots. I'm a military mama, so that really kind of hurt my heart when I heard that he
Okay.
didn't even leave his little Gulf with the Saudi Arabians to go back. And you guys all crabbed about Joe Biden looking at his watch. I mean, Donald Trump couldn't even be there to look at his watch. 4 unalived soldiers coming home, and he was golfing.
But he supposed to be the commander in chief.
And that makes me ill. What if that could have been my son? It makes me sick to my stomach. That's all I got.
Ange, let me tell you something. Like I said, I agree.
Well, what is there to respond to? I mean,
I agree. Well, let me say it. I agree with a lot of things he does, and I'm not going to agree with everything he does. So, but as far as the same thing with Biden, I agree with a lot of things Biden did, but some of the stuff Biden did, I don't agree with it. And that's just the way it is. You're not going to agree with everything the presidents do, because shit like that, like you just said, I don't agree that I thought maybe he should have been there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay, well, I'm not going to agree with everything Trump does, but you know what?
I mean,
most of the stuff that he does in regards to making us safe.
Name one thing he's done. Name one thing, Carlos. And I didn't want to get to this point because you're literally swinging at your shadow right now. You're just seeing stuff and you're just swinging, bro. None of it's sticking, bro. Takesha, what do you got to say to this? Because I don't. He's delusional. He's just swinging now.
Let me say this.
Oh, and Jem pointed out Vance wasn't even there.
Let me say this, Zeus. Let me say this. Carlos
say whatever you got to say.
Carlos said that we have to, rely on people we can trust.
Right.
So I take that people that tell the truth. Trump's hair is fake. His smile is fake. His teeth.
See, there you go. I'm not talking about the economy.
Hold on.
The economy.
Carlos, listen, bro. You get the fight's over, Carlos. Just take
his hair
it.
Color, his tan is fake. His weight is fake. His shoe size is fake. His marriage is fake. His presidency is fake. His friends are fake. There's nothing real about Donald Trump. Who would trust Donald Trump? Millionaires, because that's the only people he's looking out for. When he did what he did to the stock market, nobody gained a bunch of money but the billionaires. And he had them in the Oval Office. Right when he was finna make the announcement, after it happened, he started talking about how they made money. He wasn't caring nothing about the American people and what they had lost and how long it's going to take them to recover what they lost. The only thing he bragged about was how those billionaires became richer. And I'm done with the whole conversation.
Thank you. W Takesha and W Ange, W Zeus. Hey, Carlos.
Let me ask her something.
It's judgment time.
How many of your friends are fake? And how many? What about you? Is there anything on you that's
ladies
fake?
and gentlemen? Unfortunately, Carlos.
And I have one last bone to pick with him. Take off that Yankees hat.
No, I'm not taking out that.
Somebody has to go to hell. All right. Someone has to go to hell, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's Carlos, ladies and gentlemen. Let's send Carlos straight to hell. Get out of here, Carlos.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That is what you call someone that's just been knocked out and they keep trying to get up. And the ref, actually, I had to be the ref in this case and just step in and say, Carlos, you've taken enough, bro. Don't do that again. Get in here and just start swinging at random topics, bro. W Zeus in the chat. And Takesha. Y'all annihilated that boy, all right? I mean, I'm going to swing at Biden. I'm going to swing at Obama. I'm swinging at everything. My products, my Silverado. I mean, this man knows he didn't made a terrible mistake. And he didn't want to give up his Silverado that has parts made from China because he knew that would have meant he would have had to put those shoes that he's wearing. And I promise you, those shoes he's wearing probably came from China too. This guy, Carlos... To be quite honest, Carlos, you owe China an apology because 9 times out of 10, you are living and riding around on this high horse because of China. W Zeus. Lord have mercy. That was something else, ladies and gentlemen. That was something else. It's a shame I had to do that. All right, I'm going to bring up my good friend Val. W's in the chat for Val.
Wow, that was quite the
Yeah.
was quite the showdown.
Yeah, yeah. You can see that these supporters. He was brave enough because I've been asking Trump supporters to come up, and there's a scarce amount of people out here now that are willing to come up, and he gave us all he had. Val, what do you think about that?
Well, let's see. Let's start with where he began, right? Because he was talking about how I love the country and I have to support the president. Remember that comment?
Yeah, Carlos, listen up.
When you turned him around with Biden, he started trying to waffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That waffling continued throughout that whole line of questions.
Oh yeah, he's still up there. He's still up there. Yeah.
That waffling continued through the whole line of questions.
We all saw it. Yeah.
But Carlos, I want you to understand something. Y'all really do not understand what free speech is when it comes to the Constitution. You have no real clue. Those 5 sections of the First Amendment were built for one thing. They were built to give us the tools to regress our government. Okay? They were built for the purpose of that. If we are not happy with something that the government is doing, for us to freely be able to say we are not happy with it. So when somebody like you comes up and you say, what's the American people lost? What's the American people lost? Well, sir, over the last 10 days, almost $30,000 through for every American working taxpayer through their 401k.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Retirement funds stolen. Then you have the president of the United States bring people to office. Look, my buddy right there made $900 billion.
Yeah.
You're $900 million off the stock market today, and you don't understand that was the cost of real American people that had to pay that bill.
Wow, I like how you put that in perspective for them. They shouldn't understand now. There's no excuse.
Right. We watched you sit up here, Carlos, and you don't even want to try to address what happened 2 days ago. You don't even want to try to address that the president of the United States manipulated the stock market from the Oval Office without even understand what free capitalism is. You, sir, Carlos, you are the reason this country's in trouble. People like you are the reason this country's in trouble. People like you that want to continue to simp for somebody that's not going to help you. He's going to end up hurting you in the end. But for that feeling of, I belong.
That part.
You can't belong to something you were never part of.
Thank you. Now, Val, real quick, I brought up someone that was complaining while you were delivering this truth. Loud One, greetings.
What are you talking about? I wasn't complaining. I'm happy.
Why are you
I
happy?
was laughing at y'all, man.
Yeah. What's so funny, Loud One?
Because y'all act like the stock is not going to go back up, the market. You act like it's just going to plummet all the way down, down, down. Oh, no.
But what did it do yesterday, sir? What did it do yesterday?
Loud One. We'll straighten you right out, Loud One. All right, Val, go ahead.
What did it do yesterday, sir?
Yeah, Loud One. Now I muted you because you were spazzing out, and I need you to contain the demon inside of you. I can see it. I can feel it, Loud One.
Yeah. What did it do the day after it was manipulated, sir? What happened?
Could you answer that, Loud One? Let me hit the unmute for you, Loud One. And let's just have the conversation, Loud One. Maybe you didn't know what we know, and that could be why you're frustrated right now. Loud One, hit unmute. It's an honor, Loud One, that you can visit us here today in Mount Olympus and get some information to actually help make you a better person. But apparently you don't know how to hit unmute, Loud One. All right.
I'll help him out.
Thank you, Val.
$8 trillion.
Stock market will never come back up. Oh, my God.
Didn't you say that? Sir, did you hear those words come out of my mouth? I never said it wouldn't come back up. But the losses are real, and those won't come back.
Dude, the market reacts to what's happening in the world. Like, You don't
The
think
market reacted to what the president did.
Yeah, of course. Because everybody, you know, is trying to see what's going to happen.
So when the market reacts at a downfall, one of the largest in histories, by the way, at $8 trillion. When the market reacts to a downfall because of the president of the United States putting policies forth that will actually not only hurt the United States, but the world as well. Okay, you think that is a good thing?
Yeah. Let it go like a buy-in.
You understand how the stock market works like that? I don't know if he understands how the stock market.
Who do you think lost? Who do you think?
I don't mess with the stock market. I mess with crypto.
Who do you think lost that money?
Excuse me?
Who do you think lost that money? Who do you think lost that $9 trillion?
I have no idea.
So you're okay with it, even though it's mainly the American people?
Listen, you're okay with all these countries giving it to us in the behind?
No, sir, they're not. That is a selling point that you've been sold without any impact.
You're crying about the tariffs, man. We're the largest consumer.
The tariffs. Who pays the tariffs?
Loud
Who
one.
pays the tariffs?
Anything Trump does, you cry about it, man.
Who pays the tariffs?
Loud one.
Trump does. Ow, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, no, it's bad.
Because it is.
Trump needs to
Who
say,
pays the tariffs?
Hey, breathing.
You can set up here, but do you have enough intelligence to actually talk about the subject at hand? Or do you want to continue down talking points that are lies the second they come out of your mouth?
Loud one, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I understand a lot of you don't understand how Donald Trump is manipulating you. So what we're trying to do is get a good understanding about what you understand and don't, so we can frame the conversation. And what Val is calling out is you just want to get up here and repeat the lies that Donald Trump has been saying. And they don't make any sense when you actually compare them to what's going on in the real world. Do you understand that, Loud one? Okay, hold on. You know what, Loud one? I don't think this conversation is working for you, but you're more than welcome to sit in the audience. Val Glass Slipper said he wants to speak to you. Maybe this will be a more fruitful discussion. All right, because Loud one, just learn. Glass Slipper, what can we help you with this morning? Because I think I've spoken to Glass Slipper before.
Hey, Zoo. Yeah. I'm gonna keep my, I get excited on your live, Zoo. So I'm gonna keep my tone down, man. I got excited last time because you a good brother, man.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. But what do you need to ask Val?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, Glass Slipper.
Yes.
Well, I want to speak to Val about the 401k because I think in totality about let's start with the 401k. You said people lost money, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody with money in a 401k is lost. Yes.
Okay, so this is what I have a problem with the issue.
Is it a delay? I think it's a delay on your end.
And I don't negate that. But my problem is that a lot of people don't explain it in totality. Yeah. On my end? Okay, You want me to drop and come right back?
Yep. Glass Slipper, we're going to need you to drop and then come right back. See, these are the conversations type that I like to have, right?
I know his question. I know what he's going to ask.
Come on up here, Glass Slipper. Yeah, and he was respectful. He said, I got to ask.
I don't have any problem with the respect, but what he's going to ask is this. You're saying we don't explain it in totality. Let me put it together for you. We have had a $9 or $8 trillion loss in the stock market. That $8 trillion loss is real. All right. As much as people don't want to think it is, as much as they think it'll come back, I want you to understand it like this. When you're setting at the part where we were in the stock market, or you're setting at any point in the stock market, and you take a big loss like this, it takes years to just get back to even. Okay. Sorry about that. Over the course of those years, you are losing money daily because you're not making money in the stock market anymore. You're now just trying to recover. So the entire time that it takes that stock market to recover, you have made nothing. There is zero growth.
Are you there, Glass Slipper?
Yeah. I get you. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that as far as the 401k, right? So you got some people I done heard, I done lost 120,000. But
And they have.
Are you really telling? Okay, hear me out. So my thing is that some companies put your money in multiple companies, right? Not all of them, but they spread your money out. Not only that, did you pull your money out early?
You can't, sir. That's a big penalty.
Bro, exactly. You can pull your money out. If you pull your money out, they tax you. You can pull your money out. It's not advised.
You can move it.
They tell you not to. Can I finish?
Sir, because I see where you're trying to go. I already know.
Well, let's let him get the question out.
You go ahead. You
because he's
finish,
getting. I can sense it. Well, Glass Slipper, can I ask what exactly is your question, brother?
I'm trying to get my point across, and Val will not let me get my point across.
Okay.
And he calling me a lie when I'm sitting up here spitting facts. He just Zeus. To be fair, man, let's be fair. The man just said that you can't pull your money out. Is that facts? Is that facts, Zeus?
I didn't call you a liar one time.
I didn't hear the question.
Zeus, is it facts or not?
What was your question?
He said I said that you can pull your money out early, and he jumped the gun and said you can't do that because you will get taxed. When the fact is you can pull your money out. The only thing he was right about is that you can get taxed, but you can pull your money out early. But the fact is you will get taxed if you pull your money out. Am I correct or not?
But you're both correct.
He said that you couldn't pull the money out early, Zeus.
No, that's not what I said, sir. I said you wouldn't want to because of the penalty.
So let's get past that.
You wouldn't want
let's get past that. Everyone here knows that, Glass. Everyone knows that if you pull your retirement early, you're going to get a penalty. So I wouldn't pull it out. I personally wouldn't pull it out, and I don't think you should put Americans in a situation. I don't think you should put Americans in situations where they might feel like they should put it out earlier than they wanted to. But let's go. Oh, I think there's a delay too, so maybe that's also why you're getting frustrated. So keep that in mind.
You are correct about that, Zeus. You are correct about this. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's like a 5-second delay.
Yes,
No. I heard what he said, but that last statement you said, you are very correct, Zeus. You are correct, Zeus. You are correct with that last statement. That's not my point. But my point is that in the 401k, you get a statement every 3 months, right? Some of these people done got their statements in February, way before Trump was in office, right? So if you got your statement in February and you lost, that means you lost before Trump was even in office. You know, some of these people get up here and just tell a lie.
That's wrong.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's wrong. I get a statement on my 401k monthly. I can check on my 401k.
What's wrong?
I can check on my 401k anytime that I want to.
Okay.
And Glass Slipper, I just need to help you understand this. There is a delay when you talk.
Okay, so if
you gotta wait 5 seconds before you respond.
Trump got in office.
No, these losses did not come before Trump. These losses came from the drop in the market, sir. Come on now.
Okay. So this is what you telling me, Val. You telling me that since you get your monthly statement, right, every month. So let's say you got Trump came into office what?
This is too hard of a conversation to have, Zeus, with this delay.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to move. We're gonna have to table the conversation. Glass.
So you
Slipper.
telling me?
Glass Slipper, I had to drop you, Glass Slipper, because I could sense that you were getting frustrated because it sounded like we were interrupting you, but there's a 5-second delay. Maybe you got to get on stronger Wi-Fi or something, but I think we caught the gist of what he was saying. Val, what do you want to say to him and help him to see what we're trying to say?
Here's the thing. This narrative, and this is the first time I've heard this narrative that these losses came before Trump was even in office, is just dumb. We all know when the stock market dropped and how it's dropped. There's no disputing that evidence. Right. Okay. The reason he's had to back off the tariffs wasn't because of the stock market. That wasn't why he did it. He did it because of the bond market. Okay, the bond market is why he backed off these tariffs. Because when China retaliated with selling $800 billion in bonds, okay, and putting them on the open market and devaluing the dollar, he destabilized through his little war here, his little tariff war. He destabilized the bond market too. Now, so you understand, if you want to move your 401k to bond markets, you can do that without a penalty. But right now, when he destroyed the bond market and started, and bonds became unstable, it gave you no safe haven to move to.
And that's the issue. And again, why should Americans even be subjected to this? This all could have been avoided if he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know why people have struggled with this or stuff like that. And I don't know who this whole narrative if you get your statement from every 3 months from your 401k, I don't know what to
me, it was another attempt to blame Joe Biden for something else that Trump has done. I mean, I've never heard that angle before, but yes, to your point, Val, we all can log in and look at what's going on with your 401k today. You don't need to wait for a statement, bro.
Any day. I can move things around any day. I can call my financial advisors and say, hey, I want to move this to here. I want to do this. Some companies are good enough to actually do that and keep up with that for you. You know what I'm saying? I actually work for one of those companies that, actually keep up with it and tell you what they're doing and how it's going to help you.
Yeah.
These are the things that people can do. But when you take the loss that we did in the market, there's nobody that didn't get hit.
That part.
Hold on. There was one person, one recognizable person that didn't get hit.
Who?
And that, you know what I'm saying? And that would be, and I'm trying to think, was Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett didn't get hit. Do you know why Warren Buffett
Why didn't he get hit?
Because Warren Buffett is truly one of the smartest billionaires in this country. Okay? He knew what was coming. He reinvested, he moved his stocks around the world and other places. Okay? And Warren Buffett, I want to remember everything Warren Buffett said. Warren Buffett has told us over and over and over again what the rich have to do to help the American people. And he's been right the entire time. I want you to also remember that what he said about Bitcoin. Okay? Warren Buffett came out and said Bitcoin is a sucker's game. Okay? And he's been right about that too the entire time. People need to start listening to people that make money, that actually know how to make money, and not people that are looking to rob
that part
to make money.
That part.
Because that is what is happening right now, and that is what happened on Tuesday.
That part. Well, listen, Val, we've held church and we've done a lot of learning and educating today, brother. But Big Zeus has to wrap it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, W Val in the chat. What a good way to wrap the show up, right, ladies and gentlemen? Show Val some love. Oh, my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It was an honor. It really was. Wow, Val, they really love you out there. Any exciting plans for the weekend?
I'm going to work on some house stuff. Zeus, that's my plans. Right. Work on some house stuff.
Well, listen, you have my support. It's good to get away from the app and live your life, live your best life, and know that you've played an amazing game with me and everyone else here. You've played an amazing game all week. All right, again, W Val in the chat. If you're not sweating when the game's over, then you didn't play hard enough, and that's exactly what the Democrats are doing every single week to save this great country of ours. All right, Val, well, listen up. Thank you, brother, once again.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. We got to get up out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the special broadcast, and I got to get up out of here. I got other affairs to tend to, but I want to give every single one of you in the audience, especially the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, a huge round of applause. We're never going to surrender. We're never going to surrender this great country of ours. Absolutely not. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know who this goes out to. W Tara, W Lexi B. This last round of booze and shame goes out to every Zeus hater out there, and they know exactly who they are. I see you, all right, even though you don't think I see you. I see you. You stay up late at night, and you just can't stop talking about Big Zeus. You just can't keep my name out your mouth. You never want to come up here and really confront me about whatever it is you're struggling with, right? And you know what it is. They got Zeus derangement syndrome. They know that hands down, we are destroying all of the lies and narratives that they get from their dear leader every night, all right? We destroy them, we annihilate them, and right now they're suffering, burning in hell, because they deserve to be, right? They chose to support the most incompetent, corrupt person on the planet. And when you do that, there has to be consequences. All right. And you're getting them, whether it's your 401ks, whether it's your businesses that you didn't know were tied to China. Right now, your businesses are going bankrupt. Anything like that that's going to help you understand that supporting corruption comes with a cost. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do? Let's send them straight to hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We survived. Can you believe we survived this show? I thought it was going to go off the rails a couple of times, but it didn't. Hey! Great show. You like this song? Intense. Have a great weekend. Tiffany for the people. An amazing show as always. Wow, thank you. Zena. Claire, you said it's the best show on TikTok, really? Well, look at that. You just humbled me. I'm blushing. W Takesha, W Ann, W Larissa. You always look out for me. Thank you so much. Let's go. You know what we got to do. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes. They said they want to do some drill, baby drill. Let's do some drill, baby drill.
War, Pennsylvania.
We're gonna be. Keep up the good work, Heaven.
We're gonna take out so much money.
I see you, brother.
Pay down our debt.
All right.
We're gonna lower your taxes.
Keep sweating out there.
Insane asylums.
Curtis.
Crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack. Drill, there's a frack.
Thank you, Stacey.
You know she's gonna bang me. She was against tracking against all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all the stuff and then all of a sudden everybody here to Africa.
Did it. She said I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical.
She can't help it.
And we're gonna end that. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. You gotta be able to drill. You're a radical queen, please.
We're gonna do for these guys. We're gonna drill. We're gonna take out so much.
Cut it out, East Texas. We're gonna lower your taxes. Insane asylum. Hell, dark, handsome Zeus, Mount Negro. Drill, baby, drill. We're gonna frack.
Drill, baby,
What a great show! You want me to lower your taxes? All right, don't worry. We'll take good care of that. Sticky fingers, want me to lower your taxes? Here it goes.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
They do?
They say, why would you mention Hannibal Lecter?
Gamera!
They're going to lower your taxes.
My sister, thank you. You know they go crazy when I say
the late, great Hannibal.
Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Listen. How low can you go? Hey, how low can you go? Hey, hey. Drill, baby, drill. Let's go. How low? Hey, drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say, how much do you owe in your house? Oh, you said you owe $2 million on the house. Don't worry, we'll pay off your debt. Oh, you got property taxes too. Don't worry, we'll lower your taxes, baby. Because guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drill, baby, drill like you wouldn't believe. All right, because guess what? We got so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and all we gotta do is frack to get it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there. No stick, not straight. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We are out.